Hello, welcome to everybody. Welcome to this roundtable. Welcome, Fleur, head from Co.food.
Yes.
And all the guests. We are here to talk about Co.Station, Co.food, to societal challenges. And I think in this area, Fleur, you will present everybody shortly.
Yes. Thank you, Brigitte. So to my right, we have Sandro from Electrolux.
Hello.
In front of us, we have Chloé from Deleuze.
Hello.
And Roland from Zentis.
Hello.
Yeah, it's short, but it's okay. And I think we will see what Co.food and Co.Station are exactly. And we have a video just to see it.
The challenges our society and citizens face today are really too complex for one company to solve. Open innovation ecosystems stimulate knowledge sharing, boost innovation, and can really result to marketable, collaborative solutions. And these solutions are very important to have a sustainable impact on matters like mobility, health, building, but also food. And that's why at Co.Station, with the Co.food initiative, we really wanted to bring a certain number of companies together to work on very specific challenges of the food chain.
When I started Co.food, I had 3 facts in mind. The first is the fact that food is one of the top 3 contributors of climate change and greenhouse gas emission, just after energy and industry in general. The second is what we saw during the pandemic, the fragility of the food supply chain. Having some factories being blocked, some cross-border being blocked, led to shortages in food. And at the same time, we know that 1/3 of the total food produced is being wasted. And the third fact is the correlation between health issue and food. We saw and we see every day the growing part of the cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, obesity in children, and we know it's linked to the diet. So, with these 3 challenges in mind, I joined Co.Station mid-2020 to launch Co.food. Co.food is a multi-parties ecosystem to innovate to make the food system more resilient. Today, 9 months after, we have 23 companies in the ecosystem. We created 6 sub-challenges on which different teams worked on, and we have 1 prototyping running. Let's go and discover how we tackle this societal challenge.
We are back. And Fleur, we just saw in this video that you're using open innovations to tackle these challenges. And if I understand well, your methodology brings together different companies and facilitates the collaboration to tackle social challenges.
Yes.
Explain it.
No, exactly. I think we all recognize, and this is why we are here, the fact that there is a need to change the food system. And when you talk about the system, well, it requires a more systemic approach. And to do so, you cannot do it with one company or one person. So it requires multi-forces to join, actually. So this is what we do. We put different companies together. And I'm very happy because to start this journey, it's important also that we tackle the different part of the food chain. So as closest as possible from the farming point, talking about the ingredients. So I'm very happy that we have Zentis with us as a funding partner. Then you go to the distribution. So this is very good to be with Deleuze. And then you want to touch also the consumer when they are cooking, when they are really eating food. And this is why we have Electrolux. So I believe that we have a strong partner with the different people here to make a difference.
What was the driving force behind the setup of Co.food?
That's a good question. I think I explained a bit in the video. This is really the why. Sure. The why all this journey started. And we see, the facts are here about the fact that food is contributing badly to the climate change. And, you know, eating food, we know it's something that you repeat every day, multiple times per day. So there is a big impact.
And we will do it here
also
in a few minutes. I have some pieces here some other here, and we will share it, but you will wait a little bit.
Yes, let's be patient. So I think we all know that we need to make the food system more resilient. And so this is really the driving force behind that. And also the fact that most of the time the different companies are mostly working in competition with each other or having, the relationship of supplier and customer. And the idea here is to break that and to say, no, you are now part of one team. And we'll make decisions. So the three founding partners all together will make the decision together. And then the people in the team are working together. So it's really doing together.
Yeah. Roland.
Yep.
Nice to talk with you now.
Yeah, same.
Roland Janoten from Zentis. You're one of the biggest resellers in Europe when it comes from fruit preparation to dairy products. What was for you the added value of joining an ecosystem like Co.Food and a program like this?
Yeah. Being a Cent is a global driving force for natural and delicious foods. We thought we need to work together and create together new innovative ideas which are out of the box, and that's the reason why we joined, and to create added value there. So that's an important reason for us.
Chloe, you're working at Deleuze, and as we know much more in Belgium, Deleuze it's more than 800 stores. Retail stores in Belgium. What convinced you to take the first steps to jump into this collaboration or ecosystem or adventure?
There are different elements that push us to jump in this journey. The first element is mainly related to the fact that the purpose of Co.Food is really linked to the purpose of Deleuze and the strategy of Deleuze. And as Deleuze, our promise is to help the customer to eat healthy. And this is what we do by helping customers to find healthy product quite easily with the Nutri-Score, for instance, but also by making...
Nutri-Score on the colors.
Yeah, A, B, C, D.
Yeah, sure.
And so we are also helping the customer by making healthy products affordable. And this is what we do with Super Plus and the promotion that we do. And when we start the discussion with Co.Food, we saw that the purpose is really linked. And next to healthy eating, we also have all elements related to sustainability. So sustainability, local, healthy, convenience, these are really important elements for us. And this is clearly in line with Co.Food. Another element that was really important for us is the co-creation, the fact to be with other companies, to discuss with other actors also on the market. And it's important for us to remain relevant for the customer to understand what's happening on the market, how the behaviors are changing, but also to understand how the other players are responding to this change. So that was also important for us. And the last point, I think it's more related to the methodology that is proposed by Co.Station in terms of innovation. That was also an important element.
Yes, Roland?
Yeah, regarding the sustainability, I also like to add something that's also important for Zentis, because we, as a producer of fruit preps, we rely on what Mother Nature is giving us, the fruits, and also so sustainability, climate control is very much in focus of our company.
Yes, and it's a link with Deleuze. Deleuze is a kind of neighbor next door.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Sandro, Electrolux joins this adventure also.
Yeah.
And you are in a company present, I'm looking on the figures, in 120 countries.
Yes.
With more 60 million electronic products sold by year. And why did Electrolux join this ecosystem?
There was a strategic question behind our decision to join the program and also to invest in it. And the question was, how can we crack the food ecosystem and get connected to the other key players? Not only large companies like Deleuze and Zentis, but also the food tech startups. And the beauty of the program is that it brings really together all these diverse players. There is a lot of space for ideation, And as Chloe said, also a solid framework to validate these ideas.
We have often beauty in diversity.
Yes, absolutely.
And speak perhaps a little bit more about all the benefits in details.
This is beneficial to all. Let's say when it comes to small startups, they have the opportunity to challenge a bit traditional players. They are smaller, faster, less hierarchical. But large companies like ours are really bringing to the table a rich experience on how to run and grow successfully a business, in the case of Electrolux, for more than a century.
Thank you. Fleur, back to you. Head of the program, head and hands sometimes too.
Yes.
When you are head in this kind of program, you are always doing everything, but with
And
the
also
team.
the heart, huh?
Yeah, sure. Exactly. Head, heart, hands. We can speak much more because with food, it's not
also.
stuff like this. How did you set up the Co.food ecosystem?
So actually, the program itself is divided in 4 parts. So there is the first part, which is the invisible part of the iceberg, and this is really the preparation of it. But this is the moment where I contacted you guys during this phase, preparing, because it starts with the challenge. You want to change the food system? Okay, but that's too ambitious like that to frame it this way. So
But it's good to be ambitious.
it's good. Well, let's start with that. But then, so we divided that into sub-challenges and say, okay, but more precisely, what do we want to do? And then we said, okay, but which player do we want to have around the table to do that? So that's the first phase. Then it became more visible because then started the ideation. And the ideation is a 4-month journey where we put together the different teams. They never met each other before. And so they work according to the methodology of design thinking. Then we enter a phase which is a bit more tricky, which is a legal part, where you want to frame a bit more, okay, out of the ideas, so from idea to action, how are we going to do that, taking into consideration big corporate, like you said, Sandro, and the small food tech startup, for instance, how do you make them possibly work together? And the last part is really what we call prototyping or proof of concept, and this is the action. You want to test in real life with real consumer what's the value of your idea.
It's a way you manage to convince companies to jump into the program with you. And what about open innovation in this particularly special period of COVID-19?
No, that's an excellent question because we really started and it was the beginning of COVID. Huh? For us, this part, so the COVID part, was, I would say, more an opportunity. Why? Because we were able to have people from different places in the world. So, of course, we have the headquarters of Electrolux being in Sweden. We have the headquarters of Zentis being in Germany. So and Roland, yourself, you're not based in Germany, but you're based in the Netherlands.
Yes, indeed. I'm in the Netherlands.
And for everybody, it's okay to be on a Zoom or Teams or whatever.
Okay. We have some people, she was based in China. London, that's okay. But we could manage that. So for us, I would say COVID was more of an opportunity. But then the question you asked, Brigitte, is how do we convince company to jump in? And I think the first element I had to do is also reassure, because none of you has been doing this kind of program, because this is the first time. So some of you know more or less, okay, a bit of open innovation, a bit of relationship with startup, but that not. So it's about reassuring. So, okay, you want to jump in, but I cannot guarantee you what will be the output, because this is the beauty of that. So
it's a kind of co-creation.
Yeah.
It's more than a kind, it's a real co-creation, and it's the beauty of the thing. What are the main challenges of such an ecosystem?
So I think what I see so far, the first challenge is the limitation linked to the resources. I would say time from the people, because it's quite time intensive. Huh? We asked many people, the majority of the people are in different groups, so they have to engage. So that's, I think, a first challenge that we see. The rhythm, according to the program, is not the same. So the beginning is quite intense, and then it's slowing a bit down. So we cope like that. And I think that the second challenge is linked more to this management of the uncertainty, because you don't know exactly what you will get. You want to stay open, but at the same time, you don't want to block yourself from moving forward with maybe other projects that you are doing. So this is also another challenge. and I don't have a magic trick to solve it. It's just about listening, and also the fact that we are all together in a governance board makes that the fluidity of the communication is there, and we can tackle those challenges, hopefully.
Yes. Chloe, we have seen you recently communicate about your collaboration with Foodmaker.
Mm-hmm.
What is for you the different approach between your own collaboration and the collaboration with other companies through the Co.food ecosystem?
So what we are doing with companies like Foodmakers, we are building a strategic partnership, and the objective is really to leverage our strengths, because we know, for instance, Deleuze is the big company. Okay, we have the capacity to scale the ideas that we have, but we don't have always the agility of smaller company. So this is what we do with Foodmaker, and the beauty of it is that even Foodmaker joined Co.food as well.
Right.
So we are partner outside Co.food, but also within Co.food. And so the objective with here, with this co-creation, was to be also in contact with other companies that are maybe not sharing the same ideas, not the same perspective as us. So it's really the different opinion and perspective that was interesting. And I think that based on the experience that we have here with Co.food, we will still continue to extend our ecosystem that we are building with great relationship with Electrolux, Sentis, but also other players. So.
Yes, it's nice. Sandro, what do you like most about the collaboration with Co.food partners like Deleuze, for example?
Yeah, we met with
All
Chloe
others,
and
but
yeah.
I have all of you in the same time.
But we met with Chloe and Deleuze thanks to Co.food, and I think we laid a bit the foundation for something bigger, a partnership that can go beyond this initiative. We already had the first output, actually, a bit outside of the Co.food program, but very much linked with our common objectives. And this was the Future Sustainable Kitchen event that Electrolux hosted in March. There we brought experts from all across the food ecosystem. We had Deleuze, of course, we had several startups, including Side Chef and Innit, and open innovation platforms like Co.food. And together we have been debating on how to drive a positive change. One thing is for sure, as we said already, to solve the global food challenge, we need collaboration from all parties of the ecosystem. So we need to continue working together and come up with joint solutions.
I heard a lot together. I heard a lot solutions. I think it's a good feeling to be with you guys, because it's smelling really like the co-creation you're doing, and it's a good experimentation. Roland, we know that Deleuze and Electrolux are both B2C, but you're more B2B, in a B2B business. And what are the advantages of working with a full supply chain for you?
Yeah, we are Sentis, and to be honest, I don't see there a big difference between B2B and B2C.
It's about food.
It's all food, indeed, yeah. And regardless if you are in the B2B or in the B2C sector, the fundamental common ground is that you have to develop products where you put the customer, the consumer, in focus. That's the main part of it. And we have this understanding because we sell products to the retailers,
Yes.
but also to our dairy customers. So we have experience with both parts, and if we were not able to develop for both chains, B2B and B2C, then the products would not be in the market. So if there is no need for the consumer, then it makes no sense to develop. So always put the consumer in front, and that doesn't matter if it's B2B or B2C.
And if we have some need here in the studio with something like chocolat, we can ask you.
Yes, yeah, we have, and they are very delicious.
We will try it a little bit later. As you see, I'm very good with all that. Sandro, beside your long tasting experience in the business, how is Electrolux looking to contribute to the core premises of Co.food? Zero food waste, healthier, accessible food, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's not blah, 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 for sure.
Now, at Electrolux, we truly believe in a more sustainable kitchen for the future, which basically means more sustainable cooking habits and eating habits that are going to be critical both to our own health and the health of the planet. We want to provide more solutions to consumers to eat, store, and cook food in more sustainable ways. In reality, we know that majority of people want to make a difference to the environment, but mainly don't have the right tools or don't know how to do it. So by really providing environmentally friendly appliances, leveraging our global reach, our innovations, and our consumer insight, we want to bridge this green gap between how people want to live and how they are actually living.
And you think, Sandro, that Belgium is a good lab because it's a small country?
Yes, but it is a good lab for several reasons. Brussels is the capital of the European Union, really a multicultural environment
sure.
where quite frequently innovative solutions are tested. Also, we know that Belgians love great food too.
Sure.
It's not a coincidence that here we have the highest concentration in Europe per habitant of Michelin star restaurants.
Yeah, from the frites in the streets to the Michelin stars restaurant, we love everything.
But more important to us, Belgium is a key market for our IG premium brand. Here we have a strong presence with IG products and services. And actually, the Co.Food program fits perfectly the attributes of the IG brand, which are innovation, sustainability, and better living. Just to make it more concrete, we recently launched a campaign called The Challenge the Expected, where we wanted to emphasize the sustainability angles of cooking. And we showcased only plant-based food with a lot of focus on steam cooking as a healthier way to cook food at home. Also in Belgium, we have our IG cooking clubs in 13 locations across the country where we inform and train people on how to use our products in the best possible way, which again means a lot of focus on steam cooking and sous vide cooking.
Yes, cooking club is always a good club, as a nightclub for others, but cooking club much more for me, I think. Roland, as a German company, can you tell us more about the local aspect of your company and the output?
Yes, I can. We are a global company, but also locally focused on what we are doing. We have subsidiaries in Poland, Hungary, Russia, and the United States. But we know that we are, are dependent on what locally is available. And we also have some products where we have local fruits inside. So we source globally, but also locally with a pioneer mind. And that are ingredients we put in several products, not only on the delicious chocolate products, but also in fruit preparations for the dairy or the bakery, but also in plant-based products.
Fleur, from an operational point of view, what are the learnings for you? The first learnings of the beginning of the program.
It's a difficult question because we are not at the end of it.
You will come back for the end.
Yes. So far, I think I see three elements. You can call it learnings or key success factor. One is clearly the team, the power of the team, because like I told you, and you've experienced that yourself, it's very intense, the beginning of the program, and you really put together people who don't know each other by definition and digitally. So I think this is the first one. The second one is being flexible with the uncertainties. I think also I repeated that quite often. We put everything in place, but we are not in the driving seat. So we have also to be flexible. And I would say that I think the last part is the quality of the partners. We are not doing that alone. I repeated quite a lot of time the terminology of legal frame, etc. It's very important. And from the beginning, you need to have a clear framework of action so that everybody feels more or less confident with what's going to happen. And we do that with Cresco.
That takes time.
That takes time. And that takes expert. I mean, I'm not an expert in legal aspect. So we do that with Cresco, and they are there since the beginning. They build trust with the team, with the guys from your legal entity as well. So I think those are the three elements.
Okay. Thank you, Fleur. I think we will more or less close this first panel. But before it, if you have to choose one word or two words to describe Co.Food, what would it be? Chloe?
For me, yeah, it would be positive energy.
Positive energy. Okay, Roland?
Out of the box and co-creation.
Okay.
Open innovation.
I think we can do a game with it.
I think I will go for transparency.
Yeah, sure. It will be nice. Thank you very much for this time with us. I will keep the chocolate close to me.
Yep.
I will
Very
talk with them.
important, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Perhaps I will do something with you, Chloe.
Okay.
We will talk about it.
Okay, just
But
after.
you will have to wait a little bit. Fleur, un petit mot de la fin sur cette partie?
But thank you very much because you are the founding partner of the program, and I think we build a great team together.
Thank you to you, Fleur.
Thank you.
Thanks for
We stay together, and after a little advertising, we will do it again.
Welkom bij Lijzen, waar meer dan 1600 Belgische producenten thuis zijn. Door elke dag bewust te kiezen voor lokaal, ondersteunen we de lokale economie, duurzaam ondernemen en garanderen we kortere ketens. Voor jou is dat ook lekker vers en smaakvol. Geniet dus volop van ons formidabel vlees, geweldig knapperig brood, sublieme melkproducten en delicieuze groenten en fruit. Ja, gezonder leven begint lokaal bij Lijzen. Mee met het leven.
Why settle for good enough when you can do better, more precise, more color, more green? Raise your standards. Break the rules. And care less. To care more. AEG. Challenge the expected.
Hello, we are back with you for this program about Co.food, the ecosystem of Co.Station. Fleur, hello again.
Hello again.
And I think you will introduce all the guests we have now.
We have new guests now. So we have Jules from Foodmaker.
Hello.
We have Raoul from Zentis.
Hi.
And Jennifer from Deleuze.
Hello.
Deleuze again.
Deleuze again.
Yeah, Fleur, if we understand well from the different phases you explained, a jury had chosen one of the multiple ideas.
Yes.
What about it?
So, like I explained before, we have those different phases, and after the ideation, which was the first part of the program where all of you guys, you were together
sure.
working with the new people, a new team, then at the end of that, we had a pitch in front of a jury. And of course, with a jury, you need to vote and you need to assess some points. And so we fixed different criteria. And we have 5 criteria that we assess during this jury.
Okay.
One is the desirability of the demand. Another one is the desirability of the offer. One is the viability, talking about money and
sure.
business. Another one, very important, the feasibility, and especially the feasibility of the idea on quite of a short term. What are you
Sure.
able to deliver? And the last one, very important, it's about the impact. So how this idea has a positive impact on society, on the planet, on the health of people. And I think in the group Hungry for Talk, which is the
Yes.
topic that we will tackle, very interesting because we had in mind first that they are going to work on an impact regarding healthy food. How can you have access to healthy food when you are out of home? Because usually this is the moment where consumers are a bit blocked and they are eating some crasse, as we say.
Yeah.
But actually, what was very interesting in this group is that they added another layer of bringing impact to the idea. Because, pandemic, post-COVID, blah, 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 we know the story. And
We know.
And being back to work, how does it work, actually? And that's a tricky part because you want to be back to the office or maybe not. You don't know which day you're going to be at the office. And so the group had the proposition to add this layer of how to reconnect with your colleagues,
Sure.
which bring actually an impact on, you can say, mental health or well-being at work. So this is why it convinced the jury.
Henry talks, example of convenience food. What is it? And why was it a societal challenge?
Yeah, so convenience food is a very large topic. You can put a bit of everything. And I think in the beginning, the group was struggling to say, okay, where are the boundaries of the topic? And I remember Jennifer's like, yeah, but let's go and go more in the detail. So this is why we started by investigating the very first element about what is the pain for a consumer point of view. And we did also, you did, because I was not working in the group, you did a marketing survey, consumer survey to check those elements. And then you came to this idea to add this layer of how to reconnect, actually. So this is how they are going into having more impact on the societal aspect.
Sure. Hello, Jennifer. Hello again.
Hello.
Explain us a little bit of your job by Deleuze.
So I'm responsible for new business opportunities, and at Deleuze we put the food service, which is completely in line with what we are talking today here.
Yeah, we are speaking about food.
Yeah,
hungry.
But food service is really one of the strategic pillars at Deleuze. So that's where we put our attention to, and that's also why it makes totally sense for me to be part of the adventure.
What convinced you as part of Deleuze to join the program of these work groups?
To be honest, but I did not need it to be convinced.
You were.
As I was already, but it was a fit with my job, with my mission at Deleuze, when I'm talking about new business opportunities, but also, like I said, in the food service especially. But what really convinced me, because of course at Deleuze we are talking a lot, we have a lot of brainstorming with the people, all the stakeholders, also with our partners.
Even meetings.
Yeah, a lot of digital meetings. But with Co.food it was really an opportunity to speak with people from diverse horizons. So even people that does not have anything to do with retail, and I'm not saying that we only need that, but it brings other ways of thinking about food, other nice ideas that we did not discuss internally. And also we had partners in food industry, but also in institutions from other countries where Deleuze is not present. So it was really the diversity of the profile that really convinced me, but I did not need to be convinced.
Diversity is a nice word to speak about food, because in food and in the food ecosystem we have so much to discover, and everything is different from the other. And why or much more, how did you experience the dynamic of the program and the group you were in?
So for me, to be honest, it was the first experience in co-creation. So I did not really had a lot of expectation. It was just curiosity at the beginning. What I really enjoy was the agility of the program. Yeah. In the process, we really had, like Fleur just touched the point, to sometimes to do some step backs, to re-question what the direction we took with the other members. So it was really, the agility, the flexibility that was that was brought to the process, and also with the group. I remember the first time we met everybody. It was digitally, unfortunately, but I felt directly. It was natural to speak with the other members. It was full of transparency, full of respect. So that was really, the human experience was really great.
And not really at the end, because we are not at the end. But what role will Deleuze play in the final prototype of your idea as a group?
So as explained by Fleur, what we Hungry for Talks will focus on the food at work, and we had a nice collaboration that will be reinforced in the following months with Foodmaker, and that's why also we wanted to make Foodmaker, one of our strategic partners, benefit from the Co.food program, and we will collaborate, both of us, with the rest of the group. So,
okay. So Jules, you are from Foodmaker.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing at Foodmaker first?
I'm the digital content manager at the Foodmaker. So aside from working with Deleuze and running from one project to the other, I take care of the website and the social media.
You as a new partner of Deleuze, can you tell us what is it exactly? Your partnership.
The partnership is it's a really strong partnership because we've been working with Deleuze for a lot of years already now, and because it focuses so much on healthy foods, it reinforces our story our mission to make healthy food accessible to as many people as possible. So we have 16 restaurants, and because of the partnership with Deleuze, soon it will be a lot more.
Thanks to, not because of, thanks to.
Yes, sure.
Thanks to Deleuze partnership, yes.
Thanks to Jules, we have boxes.
Exactly.
Tell us more about the boxes, because we are speaking a lot, but we have interesting things to it. Explain more.
This is our office lunchbox. So together with Deleuze, we are focusing on business locations as well. And if we deliver this to office locations, and it contains a healthy snack or breakfast.
Yes.
This is an oatmeal with raspberry.
Sure.
So it's really good. We're going to try it in a couple of minutes. This is a granola bar, superfoods it's called, and we have a juice. This is one of the latest juices that we made, the Beauty Green. So altogether, it's a nice package. And if you're at the office, you can have this as a lunch or as a snack, and it will get you full of energy throughout the day. So
do you think if I drink some of your beauty juice now, I will change for the end of the program?
You have to try, huh?
I will do it. But what role, Jules, will you play in the final prototype of your idea as a group?
As a group, we want to go all the way with this project and be more we want to be at as many office locations as we can, of course. So if we can do this in co-creation with the Deleuze program, with Co.Foods, then it allows us to bring healthy food to more offices, together with intelligent fridges that we're doing now. It will be great to integrate that in this project together with Co.Food.
What do you think around the table with the things? You try the juice?
We see a difference on you, huh?
Oh, yeah. I see it. Drink more too, we will see. And what about the oatmeal? You tried or not?
I will.
Okay, we will see.
I'm going to let you judge first.
Yes, it's a vegan one.
Yes, it's a vegan one, exactly.
Yeah. It's vegan and non-dairy milk.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's very good and better like this. What about you?
Yeah, I like it.
We have a classic oatmeal that is really nice too, but if you want to have more of a fruity taste, then this is perfect actually.
Rhubarb is not that often, so it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are on season.
Yes.
Local and
and on season, yeah.
And I think the bar will be for later, because if I eat it now, I'm not sure I can continue to talk with the same easy way. Fleur, you're a kind of chef d'orchestre of Co.Food. What is your role in the final part of the program, in the prototype?
Yeah, it's I would say it's the most difficult part, because also we, as Co.Food organizer or Co.Station, we have to take a bit of a step back, because we are not doing it actually.
Sure.
So so there are multiple roles that we play during the prototyping, but it's up to you guys to make it live. So what we do is mostly bringing support to the team in place to say, okay, what do you need? So it can be a sounding board, can be access to expert, can be methodology to reinforce in any way. So this is more about what we can bring, but I think what we should do and what we do is keeping the rhythm, so the pace. because it can be that, business as usual, you're doing your stuff again, and then you lose a bit of the momentum. So what we want to make sure is to push a bit the group in the sense that, okay, you commit to a deliverable. You decide the deliverable, but you commit, and we are there to do a bit more of the police.
Yeah, that's the job. Jennifer, what was the biggest challenges you had during this program?
I would say that we had two big challenges. The first one, it was during the ideation phase. It was to come up with one idea, and then because all along the process we need to make choices and to drop ideas, but also to narrow down the ideas that we had, because that was really difficult to onboard everybody, all the members around one idea. And at the end we even had two, but we were lucky because another group had the same as us, so it facilitated the choice. So that was the first one. And I would say the second one was from the ideation to the prototyping phase. Because ideation, like I said, this was not that easy, but it's still conceptual. So it's still discussion ideas. And then in one of a sudden, it's just concrete. What do we do? What money do we bring on the table? Who does what and which resources? I would say, I would give you a parallel, but it's like negotiating a contract with 6 different persons, and you don't know exactly what you are negotiating. So that was really and it's still, but we will manage it.
And the scope is very large from the start, and you have to do it thinner and thinner. Mm-mm. So Jules, I think we will have a few images. What does co-creation with other companies mean to you?
We have a lot of strategic partnerships. We have a lot of ambassadors. We believe very strongly in our own philosophy, but if you really want to make the change and make people eat healthier, you can't do it alone. I think that's an obvious one. So we're really happy to partner up with Zentis, Co.food, Deleuze, Alberts, everyone involved in this project. So I hope it can make everyone stronger, and that we can really make a change and really make people in the office eat healthier and give them the easy solution. So that's why that's what we're here for.
And I think we will continue with oatmeal a little bit later, but it's a very good one. I think I will do delivery planning of oatmeal for me in the office. It will be nice too. Fleur, what are the next steps of Co.food with all these people or others?
Exactly. Well, this is exactly that. I think we build a strong community of company, and I would say mostly people, like all of you said. 23 companies in total, but also we have experts. So experts who came in your group to challenge you, to help you from time to time. So I think one element for sure is how to continue the living experience around the community. So this will be our role, to continue to animate, to propose to you guys some facilitation. And I think also that either you call it a Co.food 2 or the 2.0, whatever, my idea would be to add other layer and other group to the community. Yes. For instance, I still believe that we should do something around farming, farmers of tomorrow, and we could not because we didn't have the right company for, let's say, the first ecosystem. Yes. So it could be that we create another group around the topic focusing on farming, and we bring those 5-6 people to do the journey on ideation, prototyping. So.
Okay. So thank you, everybody, to be with us for this panel. And Fleur, I think you will stay with me for the next one.
Always.
After a short advertising cut. Hello again. We are back with you, and I am with my partner in crime, Fleur, for today, head of Co.Food and partner on this set.
Yes.
And I'm sure you will announce all these gentlemen.
New guests.
Yes, sure.
So we have Glenn from the startup Alberts.
Yes.
We have
Hello.
also Laurent from the startup Milty.
Hello.
And Raoul is still with us from Zentis.
Hello.
Okay. So, Glenn, let's start with you. You are the CEO and co-founder of Alberts.
Yes, that's correct.
And could you explain us what is it?
Yes, certainly. So Alberts is a startup. We are a Belgian startup, and we are in the food robotics sector. So that means that we...
Food robotics sector. When I heard it,
Yes.
I'm not sure I can eat or drink something.
Yes, you can for sure. So we are, let's say, reinventing the vending machines, where today they are more distributing finalized products. We try to produce fresh products inside the machine. So we make smoothies, as we have here. We also make
came
soups.
with the smoothie.
Yes, exactly. We can taste if you like.
You want to taste?
Yes.
Okay. Cheers.
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 So this one is a smoothie with strawberry,
Yeah.
raspberry, and blueberry.
Yeah.
We make also soups, vegan shakes. And so in the machine, we do that with raw ingredients that you can
Okay.
personalize your drinks.
How can we personalize, for example?
Exactly. So what you could do in our app, you can personalize your recipe. So what you could say is...
So it's the same machine for other company, but I can come and say, I would like to have more lemon and more ginger.
Exactly, yeah. So you can make your own recipe, the Ellen24 recipe, for example, or the Co.Food recipe. And that recipe you can share
And
with
my
your
own
colleagues.
in the machine of everybody or not?
Yes, you can scan your own. Indeed, yes, you can save it. That's true. And so what we really try to promote is in companies, but also in retail, to have a more healthy atmosphere and to put pure food in front. So pure transparency, the real ingredients in front.
Okay. As a startup, what is the strength you bring to the table?
Yeah, so I think as a startup, what we bring is agility and flexibility and fresh ideas. If you often
And fresh food.
Fresh food, yes, true. I think often if you compare the standard comparison with, let's say, big corporates, it's very difficult for us as a startup to access big corporates and to really put new ideas into practice and in scale. And I think that is what Co.Food brings, like a neutral playground for us to launch that and to find partners like Zentis to then push that forward.
Okay, and people need to know that they can order now.
Yes, exactly.
And what about the machine and how to do to have it? And are we supposed to subscribe?
Yes, exactly.
How is it?
Exactly. So we have a local production of the machines. So we make these robots here in Belgium. We have now 15 of these robots in the market, and we now have an order list open. So all companies, retailers, gyms, but also universities and schools can go to our website, fill in the form, and then subscribe on the waiting list, and we will produce your machine here in Belgium.
Yes, and how many people do we need in the area to have one machine?
So the clients
At
that
least.
Yeah, the clients that we have at least have about 150, 200 people on site. Let's say at an office area. And so in a public area, that already goes, of course, quickly, because many people pass by in a store.
And what is the role? What role will play Alberts in the final prototype?
Yes, so in the final prototype, what we bring is we have locations and clients where we have our robots installed, and we can link the software, so the solution that we are creating, we can link that towards our machines. And as such, people can get a reward for their actions, for their social actions, in the sense that they can have a smoothie or a soup for free or for a reduction.
Okay. And Laurent, you are the CEO and the co-founder of Melty. You can explain us a little bit more about Melty?
Yeah. Milty is a smart fridge that offers 24/7 healthy food at workplace. It's innovative, it's eco-friendly and sustainable. If you don't mind, I can just give you one benefit. One of many benefits of having a Milty fridge at work is that you wake up late in the morning.
Yeah.
You're late at work. Of course, you're on your rush. But still, you don't want
We
to skip.
love to be late.
Maybe with a hangover, but still, you don't want to skip breakfast. Yeah, you think yourself, okay, I will grab something from at the gas station on my way to the office. But then still, oh wait, I have the Milty app. Let's give it a try. And then with the Milty app, you have a direct access to the smart fridge. You can actually see what's in the fridge. because we are using the real-time inventory. So you make your choice, off you go, relieved, and to knowing that you will have a healthy breakfast to start the day.
And Laurent, with Melty, what was your objective when you joined the Co.food ecosystem?
Oh, there were many objectives. I think the first of all is, yes, maybe to get more exposure. Of course, it's a bonus, especially for startups. But building relationships with companies such as Zentis, Deleuze, and meeting, with Food Maker, and also with meeting some other, colleagues that are working also in the vending machine business. It's priceless. So yes, of course. Also, I think we all agree on that is just to expand the client network. But I think if the most important is to share the same value on a common objective. This is really what matters at the end of the day. I think it's really to be part of a co-creation and really have this co-creation mind.
It's a part of your objective to join the Co.food ecosystem? Or do you have other objectives?
Oh, many, yeah. Many to fulfill,
time.
But...
Fleur, we can stay together a few hours tomorrow.
We will need the whole night, I believe.
No,
Okay, night and day. Or day and night.
No, I think it's a great step for my startup to be part of this adventure, because it's really, because it's, as I said, it's quite innovative, my smart fridges, so it was difficult to find the right place, because people are not really there. They see the vending machines as they old style. They bring, there's no, and we want to make really the healthy food accessible for all, and to make it really easy, because that's I think that's what we want to do. We want to accomplish with Glenn as well.
Yeah. During the program, what were the most crucial parts for you?
Well, I would say that was more about the expectation alignment. To understand the problem, we have first we first have to be able to see the global picture, and that's the moment where there's a gap of expectation between startups and established companies.
Sure.
And I think thanks to Co.Station and their coaches, we succeeded to agree on a common objective.
Yeah.
And I think this is really, and of course the ideation was quite tricky because
and some patience to get
it. Sure.
But at the end, I think the job was done, and and we're quite happy.
I'm sure you had a nice group, Fleur.
Oh,
An amazing group.
What role will Albert play in the final prototype?
Albert? Melty?
Albert and Melty.
Albert,
we say?
Oh.
And Melty.
No.
It's
No, Melty, of course, we will continue to deliver healthy food at office. But we will be part of the logistic management. So we will assure the transportation, the storage, the inventory. So, of course, if required, we will support any members of the team.
all together.
All together.
Like in the football team.
It's to get there together.
Together.
Wow. So, Raoul, we will talk together. You're in the innovation team of Zentis.
Right.
And as you innovate, you came with products.
Right.
Explain us a little bit more.
The first product we can go into detail for is our stracciatella cream.
Yeah.
So if you all want
a yaourt,
to taste.
kind of yaourt, or it's a cream?
Yeah. So it's an addition to the yogurt, and it gives it all the chocolate splits in there, and it basically preserves everything that is good in the yogurt, but also gives it the premium feel that is added to it. So it's one of my personal favorites, I have to say.
Okay.
It goes very well with the smoothie. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I eat it all day, but I know a lot of people for a fact like it for breakfast, so I'm very happy about it.
And?
Oh yeah, and for the sweetness lover, we have the Belmanda Minis. You're holding up the chocolate variant right there, and I absolutely love the salted caramel ones. Because it's a very, very...
we have different kinds.
Right. Yeah, that's the classic one. And then the copper-looking one is the salted caramel. And I really like the contrast and the taste with it. And I think it's also a very premium feel on the tongue if you bite into the marzipan.
It's the best program of my life. Raoul, for you, as an active participant, how did you experience being part of this Hungry for Talks group?
All in all,
we are not anymore hungry.
But we will be in the future, maybe, and that's why we got together, and it was very, very inspiring. You know, as a corporate innovation manager, you see that the mindset is key about innovation, and I was happy to meet great minds such as Laurent and Glenn and Julie from Foodmaker, but also from other corporates. So yeah, all in all, I'm super happy.
And as I asked to your wonderful colleagues, what role will Zentis play in the final prototype?
Personally, I of course hope that we're going to be a great testing ground for the project, but ultimately as a company, of course, we hope to provide solutions that deliver to the people the naturalness and the healthiness of the fruit. So at the end of the day, I'm really happy to have worked with all of you and keep working with you so we can do what Zentis does.
Yes, and from your background of Zentis, what are the best key learnings you had?
Yeah, so the key learning or the crucial learning that I had is that you don't should narrow your way of thinking. You should always think in solutions, not in features. So that's what we all came to eventually, right? So if you widen your range, you will be able to add the highest value for anyone.
And during the program, what was for you the most crucial part?
Yeah, so it's really about identifying the challenge that you're faced with. So if you don't see fundamentally what you're trying to solve, you're not going to get anywhere. So eventually, yeah, that's really what we had to do, and that's what we had to focus on.
And you, Glenn, what is co-creation so important for you?
Yeah. So I think in the food industry specifically, there is a long value chain. So you basically go all the way from the field, literally all the way to the consumer in an environment where we eat something. And so I think both for big corporations as well as for smaller startups, it is actually very difficult to push something through that whole chain. So big corporations often have their running business already running. If they want to change something, it's often kind of stiff. But as a startup, you might have ideas, you might have some context, but to get that full chain going, it is difficult. And at least here you have a level playing field where I think the most important part in the end, you build also a personal relationship. Like I know now Raoul, I know Alice, I know Jennifer from Deleuze. So that is very important to, in the end, be honest to each other. What doesn't work, what might work, what do you think, what do you feel? So I think that is, in the end, what makes this happen.
And you, Raoul, what did the natural facilitation of Co.food play a role in the development of the prototyping phase?
Yeah, so what's really important is the methodology within the project that is being used. And I really have to compliment on this because being faced or going into innovation, you're faced with a lot of uncertainty and you really try to be flexible and be agile. And you really did a great job on this. And also what I saw working with you guys is that we really encountered each other on eye level, and that's really an achievement that you have there.
And you went to a small extra hackathon, and please tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so I knew a software company from my past project that I knew that were on par with us in terms of the goals and the visions that we had. So during the hackathon, it was evident that we have to be able to capitalize on that, right? That's why we did this and went for the hackathon.
Okay. So, Laurent, what is difficult to find a good fit for your services in the proof of concept?
Yes, I have to say that we all had to understand our own role to play on the team. So, in order to set up the right dynamic. So, and thanks again to the coaches of Co.food, we have succeeded really to set up this dynamic right from the start. And I think each player was really aware of what to achieve in this co-creation. So I fit myself very, very easily. It was quite, frankly, I have to be honest, it's just at the start it was difficult to me because it was, starting from scratch like a project like this, but not by not having met physically. Yes. It really was one of my big concerns. So the first time was like, it took me a while to get into the project, but once we had also these private moments
Yes.
we shared, and after the session. So this really had I think this made this happen. So yes, but it's for me, frankly, it was not that easy part to get in, but.
And it's your feeling, all of you, to be a group is something very different. A group in this area.
If I can jump in here, I think for me, when we met the first time physically, it was super easy because we had all these workshops together, right? And we know that we're all on the same page. So in real life, I think that makes it really, really easy.
It's kind of a relief to have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was in full COVID, getting together in calls all the time. So.
But I think what the group is sharing with us is very interesting because it reminds me what I shared before about the power of the team, and this is the perfect expression of it.
Really.
I mean, you had the feeling that you knew each other before, and then the trust is already there, but still you need also to see the people in real.
Yeah, and I think the coaches, they were great. I think Lando
did a good job.
Lando did a good job.
So, I think it's a nice co-creation. I have a question for you all before we finish, because it's already close to the end. If someone asks you why you should join a future Co.Food program, what would you say in 1 or 2 words, sentences? Raoul.
Be healthy and improve the world, basically.
Laurent?
I would say that Co.Station is bringing new opportunities that you might have not considered before. So yes, and you meet great people there, of course. Yes.
And Glenn?
I would say in a fast way, be able to cooperate with multiple players around one focused topic, where people really help you to, let's say, give a continuity to get somewhere, and then again to get there together.
Okay. Thank you all. And Fleur, I was very happy to have you with me.
Yes.
In this nice program during 1 hour. Thank you to all of you, and you will tell it much more precise in a few seconds. Thank you to all of you to have so much to eat.
Oh, you can,
And I think
yes,
you can thanks everybody.
Exactly. I think this is the moment where first of you guys for being here, and I mean everybody present in the studio today. So I think so Chloé and Jennifer from Deleuze, also Roland from Zentis, Sandro from Electrolux, and also of course Laurent, you are there, Glenn, you are there, and also Jules from Foodmaker.
Sure.
But there are some
and your team
invisible. Absolutely. So there are many people.
The one who
Ali and Audrey. So they worked like hell to make it good for us today. So I think it's very important. And also my partner in crime, you know them, Beatrice and Adeline. We built together this program, of course. And I think you, Brigitte, thank you, and for the team LN24. So because you made it possible for us to be together and discuss this topic.
Okay, I hope to do it again with you as soon as possible, because it's very good for my life. Not very good for my balance and diet, but it was a pleasure to have you with me for 1 hour. Have a nice time. Create wonderful projects. Continue to co-create, and long life to Co.Food and Co.Station. Ciao.